Come on into my bedroom here, at least my vanity, and thank goodness for makeup. You know what's funny is I've tried some natural makeup. I just wanted to come on here and talk about it. Uh, yeah, first of all, I have some problems with some lighting in here because it can get too bright, but oh well, bright is good. Check out the gray hair again. Always debating what to do with it. Might as well just kind of let it grow sometimes. But I'm putting just a little bit of makeup on here. I got foundation on. I feel like it kind of helps me with not only the sun banging in your face, it's a protection, but just whatever makes you feel good about yourself, I'm all for, to each his own on that. As long as you're not hurting anyone by feeling good about yourself. So, boy, we're learning a lot about underwater Titanic submarines. Isn't it wonderful to learn things, I'm very excited to learn things in life. I probably went to a college, like, you see that on people's Facebook, the school of hard knocks. Well, sometimes that is true, the school of hard knocks. I think all of us have hard knocks, all of us have been in some type of a learning feeling, and when you live this life, you learn, don't you? You learn about different things, and what we can do to better ourselves, what we can do to help others. But like I said, it's mostly an example deal. If you can be an example to others, that's probably the best thing, you're hearing a lot about all of this tragedy here, what they're doing, how they're helping. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the sharpest tool in the shed, but what I want to know is why. Like some people think about going to space. He was an explorer and wanted to explore the ocean. I know they're explorers. Okay. What I don't understand is, and I'm respecting anybody that can explore the ocean deep or do all these type of things, and make the path, the pioneers, and everything like that. Who knows, Everybody can do something to better or find things out to help others. I believe that that's what they're doing. But I also feel, hey, what is the big deal about sending another sub down there? Okay? Why don't they send another mini sub down there that they went in? Was that the only sub? It's like, I don't understand. Did they just have one sub? I would want another little sub to go down there and get down in there and look. I've thought about it, and I think they're stuck under the Titanic. They went to a graveyard underwater, and I'm not saying that it wouldn't be thrilling or for a lot of people to go to the bottom of the ocean. The Bible talks about being at the bottom of the ocean. A lot of people talk about the bottom of the ocean. But we're finding out it's dark, it's cold. Inside there was cold. Let me turn this down. I don't even want to get into it about Biden and how I feel about him. I don't really want to get into that right now. All I can tell you is I don't like him at all. And there's been some great Democrats in my life, And there's probably, some great liberal people, that can find the balance between both. But back to this submarine. Why hasn't anyone taken a small submarine? Didn't they own another one? Didn't they create or invent another one? Send another one down there. Why is that not happening? You've got all these ships up there. You've got buoys that pick up sound. You've got all of these robots down there. Well, I've heard only one. I don't want to exaggerate. But when you get in a panic like that and you're involved in this story, I thought, I'm getting anxiety. I've got to turn this off. I just can't watch it anymore, you know. But that's where, you know, you pray and you hope for the best. And we all are learning so much. Last night, I read about, let me get a nickel. I read about our president. He had children with a slave. See if I can get a nickel here. Okay. And she was a light-skinned slave girl. They found her room where where this president had her in this plantation mansion. And I read it last night. It was a very different story on this nickel. We all know who Jackson is, right? Well, he had like, I think it was 9 children with this slave. And he even made a quarters for her in this plantation mansion. And I read all about it. They said her house, their mansion was on the back of this. I can't see too well in here right now, but I read the whole story. Her name was, was it Sally Hemington? Anyway, I'm into all of these stories about, you know, they're finding out things in this plantation mansion that she had a quarters right next to his bedroom. And of course, he was a widower at some point. Regardless, you know, just imagine falling in love with a slave that you couldn't tell anything to, or the world, and having all those children because she came from, you know, slave parents. And it's just a remarkable story. I've got to read more about it. I wish I could tell you, you know, some more details about it. All I can let you know is the President Jackson had several children with her, and she was in like I said, a part of the mansion that was hidden. They've discovered there were hidden rooms, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. But back to the sub, not to detour too much. I guess we're going to find out. They're going to bring it up and this and that. What's scary is I guess it's bolted all together so they couldn't get out anyway. I mean, who'd want to get out? The mothership would be watching it. This is what's bugging me again. Why is there not another small little submarine that's going down to help? Why? Why not? This was the only Titan little sub, you know? Why isn't there another one going down there? You know, you're hearing all the details. It was the size of a van. They're barefoot. They're inside. It's cold. It's dark. There's probably at this point, you know, ice on the inside. You know, we all know here in Utah it gets really cold and stuff, you know. But nobody really knows what they're feeling. So we can talk to people that are survivors from different situations like this. But it really makes you look at life a little different, doesn't it? And if it doesn't, it should. So praying for them, and I came back on here to just talk to somebody about, have they thought of that? I mean, I'm listening, following the story. I'm following a few stories, and I don't understand why there isn't a little submarine that has gone down to look around the Titanic and under there, you know. So it's interesting, isn't it? So I want to come on here today. I don't have really a lot to say about this, except for, you know, I do follow a few stories, and I'm interested. I don't want to get too excited about, you know, too many politics, but it's interesting who is running for president. Look at the people that are running to be president. It's pretty exciting right now. You know, you got Tim Scott, you've got a Kennedy, you've got, you know, our vice president to Trump, you know. A lot of people want to jump up there and change the world and do some different things for our country. I think it's pretty cool. And Have a wonderful day, will you? I just came on here again. I wanted to talk about some blessings that are in my life. I've got 3 wonderful children, and I happen to know that there's some great people that are in my life. I'm so thankful for them. You can be a victim or a survivor or a thriver, so it's your choice to pick what you want and to act on it and to be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself, you know. If you've made mistakes like me, if you've overcome some things like me, just be patient with yourself, because if it, you know, you didn't get there in one day, did you? So a lot of times we're not patient with other people, right? We're just like want everybody to change or want to try to control, or hey, why didn't they do it my way? Well, how about you do it your way and stay in your lane? You know, something my son Ryan always says, stay in your lane. But he's mostly saying that if you stay in your lane, you're probably going to get to your destination. It's the minute we get out of that lane and we're probably trying to travel on somebody else's lane that we're probably going to crash. We're going to bump into people's feelings. We're going to be talking to them about why we were there, we shouldn't have, why'd you say that? And so those are the type of things that people need to understand that are important in life, you know. If you stay in your lane, you'd be like entering some different things instead of passing. You know, a lot of people want to be in everybody else's business because maybe they're bored, maybe they feel like they can help them, maybe they feel like, you know, they're like I said, their life is boring and they need to know somebody else. You know, and you meet these type of people daily, you know. But you can tell if they're gossiping. You can tell if they really have an interest, or you know, one thing my older brother Michael did tell me, he said, you know, Pamela, if you don't want to gossip with people, if they ask you to, you know, get involved in these type of conversations, you just say, you know, things like, so is that what you feel? So is that what you think? Or, I didn't know. You know, you just you say things back to them, but you don't agree with them. What you do is you put their information back at them because they're waiting and wanting you to participate in this type of, you know, talk. Why not talk about some other stuff? Why not talk about like some things I'm bringing up today? You know, but it takes work. It's not something that happens overnight, you know. It's something you have to pay attention to. It's something that you have to notice. And it's definitely part of being a better person to capture, you know, what's and why's, you know, what are you speaking about? So there's too much to learn, too much to do in life than to tussle and fussle over things that you can't even control. A lot of people say, oh, you know, you're a control freak, or that person loves himself too much. Be careful what you're saying, you know, because you know, it's like walking around, you know, in a landmine, because there's so much negative that you're going to notice it. But how are you going to deal with it? How are you going to deal with the negative? How are you going to handle people in your family that know, you know, better? I mean, my family knows better than they've done a lot of things, but those were their choices. So, you know, sometimes children, and most of the time, grow up. And once a child grows up and can decipher things for himself and make these clear decisions and look around and realize, you know what? I think I was lied to. I think I wasn't treated fairly. I think that I want to choose a different path than my parents. Instead of blaming, how about just making that difference, taking a different view on how to handle things, and being able to say, hey, I've been wrong. I've been the worst of the worst. I've been at the bottom. I climbed to the top, or at least I'm mid, you know. So back to the submarine again, you know, this is in our hearts today. It's all over the news. If you're in touch with the news, I have Mennonite friends that don't even own TVs. A lot of people don't want to get involved. I do. I want to hear what's going on. Of course, my favorite class in school was always social studies, history. So I like that. And it's about people. So I like reality TV. I don't like sci-fi. Never really have. I like when they do documentaries about people. Say, for example, I saw the Elvis one. It was really good. Of course, Ray Charles. Jamie Foxx is another story. Praying for him. Just a lot of stuff in life. The reality of people can help us understand, different things. And it's growing, Just try not to be so hard on yourself today. Try to understand that you're growing as well, and that, we do grow at different paces. We understand things differently, and together just try to get there without okay, that's Nancy Pelosi. I'm just like, not going to give me my opinion on that. Uh, so just be light with yourself, and it's how you handle your emotions, as children, If a child, gets angry and isn't heard, or pushed aside, or not, things that are very, very important as a child, explain to them. I mean, you can use different examples. You can use flowers. You can teach them different ways, So it happens, I believe, with children. I really do. Children are the ones that need to be treated kindly and loved and explain things to. And there's certain people that have gifts that can work with children, Not everybody can sit down with a child. Not everybody can talk to the child inside of our adult self. So be easy on yourself, and there's a lot to learn in this life, isn't there? But the question is, before I close, is what do you want to learn? You know, they're topics people don't want to discuss. Um, they caught that guy that murdered those 4 college kids in Moscow, Idaho, with DNA, and finding, fingerprints and blood, and the sheath, or whatever they call that, they put the knife in the bed under one of the beautiful young girls. And so he's in big trouble, and the death penalty's there, and that's another discussion maybe I'll come on and talk about, because this is getting a little bit long here, but I've been following that. And these people are heroes that go into these places and find out things and get DNA out of garbage cans and match people, is something else. So our technology and things today are I'm back again. I got to come back to, why haven't they sent back down a little sub? Wouldn't a little sub be able to go down there and look for them? Was there only one sub? I've got to get off here and find out. God bless you today. I've got to keep being positive. Thank you for if you got anything out of this. I know I've had to grow in a lot of areas in my life, and the more I say that, the more I realize it. Boy, I've really, I've made some big mistakes in my life, but what's great about it is if you can change. So other people aren't going to believe in you. So wouldn't it be the best to believe in yourself? It's Miss Cool saying, peace.